on live. It's college football. It's our first preview, week 1. Look, I'm going to say it right away before we get Donnie on here. This has been the longest fucking summer of my life. The longest. Seems like we've been in summer for the last year. But we're back. Football starts tomorrow. No more week 0. No more preseason. No more training camp. The big boys get going tomorrow. And we're here to talk about it. I'll go over all your games you sent in. I got a ton of games to go over. I'll go over them all. But before we do that, we had to bring the band back together because we made an announcement today, Donnie Rightside, that the right side of campus is coming back. And people have asked, people have looked for it. Where are you guys at? Haven't seen you guys do videos. Do you hate each other? Ooh. I've actually had people ask me that. I know you have as well. People think we hate each other. But it's time to bring the band back together. How you doing, Donnie?
I mean, it's real good to be back together. I mean, how long has it been? When did we do it? Forget about like something, talking on the side, which for people that don't know out there, Jeff and I talk every single day, multiple days. If I want to go, let's just say Jeff told me something a little while ago. Let me scroll back. It takes me an hour on Skype to scroll back just through like 3 or 4 days. But I mean, no, it's fun to be on it. Like I said, when is the last time we actually were live together? When was it?
Oh, man. I mean, you have to remember, we had the right side of campus. That was unbelievably stopped.
Yeah.
I don't remember when that was. That was that's a good question. I don't know.
Are we talking March, February? Like, what are we actually talking? Like, legitimately. Yeah.
It was March or February. No, it was before then, I feel like. It was a while ago, put it that way. But we'll get the band back together. We are bringing back right side of campus. It's going to start on Monday, Labor Day, which is coming up. We also have some announcements, Donnie, down the road from other things as well. As far as the content we're going to be doing. You're a big NFL guy. Mm-hmm. I know you're doing some great things on SBR. And, look, I see all these people back. It's nice to see some of these names. I haven't seen some of you in a while. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I started kind of doing some other things, and I'm happy to be back on YouTube. The summer's over, Donnie. Fall's here. We got football coming up. We get the NFL. Soon we'll be talking college basketball. I mean, the bikinis and beach time, Donnie, is pretty much over.
No, and you hit it right on the head. When we are in the content business, Jeff, and we talk about doing content, anybody can do it, right? Football season all the way through till the Final Four. But after you get through that, that's where you're talking every single day. How many times, Jeff, did you wake up in June like, good grief, like you're still a little bit too far away from football season, but not close enough? And now you look at it, 8/28/2019. Thank God, man.
If you're in here, say hello. Don't be a lurker. Come and say hello. And look, I know it's going to take some time before we get the channel built back up again. But you know what? I'm happy to see it. I want to shout out anyone that's watched. I've started to do some preview videos, a couple with Joe Duffy, a couple of my own. We're going to have Ian Cameron on to do some as well. I'm sure we'll get Donnie at some point. A lot of people are watching them. I know people like quick hitter videos, but I'm going to do this probably every week where I come on and really kind of just try to bang out as many as I can. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to timestamp a lot of this stuff so people can see when I talked about the games and whatnot. Let's shout some people out, Donnie, because that's what we do on this show, and I'm happy to see some of you back. Brian Manning, what's up? James Ross, Keith Sadler, Brian Rowe. Fucking Millhouse is in here.
Yeah.
How about that? I'll never forget when Millhouse told me he was coming to a Temple game with me and then never came. Joe Murawski, what's up? Nut Flush Allen. I don't think I've ever seen him.
No, he's a good guy, Jeff. He was down. Okay. He's been with SBR for a long time. A real good guy. Met him finally down in Miami. Solid dude, man. Thanks for coming to the chat box, brother. Love it.
Well, see, look, Donnie, your promoing is doing wonders for my show. Nut Flush Allen never watched me until he met you, and now you're in here and he's watching me. Yeah. So welcome. Thanks for watching. What else do we have here? Best Gambler, my man. Listen, Best Gambler. Let me tell you something about Best Gambler. Donnie, Best Gambler has been watching my shows and listening to me since I was on Spreaker way back in the day with Ryan. So welcome back, Best Gambler. Natalie McInnes, thanks for watching, girl. Appreciate it. KG. Who else do we have here? We got so many people. Pimpster McDingle. Good name there. Marlon Dean Duru, Scott Letty, Sandy Bailey, the Kentucky fan. She used to call into our show on WCKG, John Donnie. It's great. Lucas Reiser, best collab in the business. That's nice of you to say. We're looking forward to fucking arguing about Tiger Woods. Because listen, the great thing about Donnie is he's a lot like me from a sports aspect, but we're way different in certain aspects.
Yep.
Like he gets lettuce and tomato and a cheesesteak.
Yeah, hell yeah, and onion.
Repulsive. So
and onion. Raw onion too, Jeff. I don't even want it. I don't even want it fried. Like I just want it raw. I want lettuce, tomato, onion.
I don't think you've ever told me that.
Yes, it's LTO. Raw onions, yes, raw. Never fried.
Wait a second.
Never fried.
You get raw onion,
yes,
on a cheesesteak, hot cheesesteak.
Lettuce, tomato, and onion. Yes,
that doesn't even make sense.
Yes,
a cheesesteak is hot, dude, not cold.
Yeah, and you like the coolness of the produce on top. It's banging.
Dude, that's odd. That is really
next
odd.
time we're in town for a game, we'll go to a Temple game. I'll get you that nice delicacy, and you'll enjoy.
That's really odd. Like I thought you at least got fried onion. Like,
no.
Wow. Even weirder than I thought. Who else do we have here? Adam Ortega, what's up? Dalton Childs, Lights. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. How about that?
Oh, wow.
B Ham in the building. Birmingham, stand the fuck up.
Damn right.
Guwap Gucci, one of the great names. Guwap Gucci. Russ B. Coactus. Some really creative names, I have to say. Coactus. Watching you for over a year. Well, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. What else do we have here? Delisandro's is great. Yeah, very good cheesesteak.
Dude, I got to tell you, Jeff, the side-by-side is sensational.
No, it's way better, isn't it?
Because now when I rip you, and like, are you ripping me, you can see my facial expression, whereas when you're on YouTube and it flips back and forth, you miss that. So we can get real angry here.
Fuck Google Hangouts. StreamYard is way better.
By the way, where did you find this at? Like, when did this come into your life?
Well, I was honestly trying to research because Google Hangouts went away. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
Google Hangouts was the platform we used to do shows before. It went away. So I had to find another one because I knew I'd eventually be doing shows and I needed YouTube. And I just researched it and found it. And it was tough to kind of understand initially, but you actually, Donnie, do pay for it. It's like a little charge each month that you pay for, but it gives you the backgrounds, it gives you the kind of real life feeling, and you can see both of us next to each other. So,
no, it's beautiful. Is it? And I'm sure you'll be able to tinker with it as we go along. But I like the backdrop, and I love the side by sides making my day right now. To be honest, man.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Dolphin Dwayne in the house. How about that? Dolphin Dwayne. Listen, Dolphin Dwayne. The Miami Dolphins are a horrible football team. Really bad. Could be the worst team in the league. Yeah, so welcome everybody. I'm glad to see all of you. Do me a favor, and as always, retweet this show on Twitter. Hit the like button. You share.
I'm already subscribed, by the way, on here, so I'm ahead of the game.
Well, good. Yeah, subscribe to this channel because this is where you're going to want to be for all the info. This is all where the info is going to be. We're going to have handicappers come on. We're going to have shows with me, shows with Donnie, all sorts of stuff. Donnie, also, we have one dislike. So shout out to that guy for watching.
Now, what about the private? Now, explain this to me, Jeff. What about the private chat over here? Is that like something special we're giving away?
No, that's actually the chat. It's just behind. So I prefer to just look at it on YouTube. Why don't you get Pete on? Says Nutfush.
We'll have a lot of people on.
I've actually had Peter Loshek on this, but I will get him on in the future. Peter is a guy that I still stay in touch with. So I'm excited to probably get him on at some point. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to recommend everyone. I'm going to go through a lot of your games here. But if you have a game that you didn't get me and you want me to break down for week 1, get it in right now. The season hasn't started yet. You're going to eat your own words, says Dwayne. About the Dolphins. Okay, well, hey, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Jared Schrader, what's up? And have I ever seen Mindhunter on Netflix? No, I have not.
Somebody just asked me that. Just asked me that. Well, I must be missing out on something good.
No, I haven't watched that. No. Now, Donnie, Miami, week 1. Look, I thought played pretty well. Did you watch the game? I know you were down in sunny Florida.
I'll tell you one thing. It's when you came into that game, and I was on the same wavelength as a lot of people out there. I just thought Florida was going to be the better football team in that game. Also, just like everybody else, I thought the under would be the right play when you got a little bit hairy late in the game. But isn't it what you expected, Jeff? Florida's defense, been there, done that. Rookies at tackle or freshmen at tackle, a young kid at quarterback. You knew the mistakes were going to happen out there. But having said that, if they don't drop a punt inside the 5, Jeff, they probably win the ball game.
Yeah, I think one thing we also are going to have to really just come to the realization, Felipe Franks isn't any good. I mean,
he was talking that smack, wasn't he? Good grief.
And look, I mean, I'm going to make this clear. I mean, look, have they had a good quarterback since Tim Tebow? Seriously. I mean, I don't understand how a program like Florida with Dan Mullen as your coach can't get a better quarterback prospect. I just don't understand it. They're going to have trouble all year. Good defense, good skill position players, great run game, but I mean, they need a quarterback. They don't have it. They're going to struggle all year. Donnie, I know you don't get involved deeply with college football initially. Have you looked at, do you have your eye on anything? You're looking at anything you're excited about watching or kind of keeping tabs on?
No, actually, I'm just involved in trying to check out, because what I'm trying to do now is the same thing I do every year. In those first 2 to 3 weeks of the season, I sort of set my schedule on who's playing and when I need to try to take a look at them. As I was telling you earlier, got the Fire Stick out there trying to help me a little bit with that, kind of scouting edge. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff. But you know where I'm looking, Jeff. The Central Michigans. I want to peep in on the Kent States. I want to peep in on all those smaller schools to see how they add up. And you know what I'm actually interested to see now that Mark Whipple is gone? Right away off the bat, Jet, you're going to get a UMass game. And I wonder what UMass looks like now.
Oh, UMass is bad. I mean, Walt Bell's the new coach at Florida State offensive coordinator. I mean, they lost a lot of players. I mean, Andy Isabella gone. They could be one of the worst teams in the country. Bad team. They're actually a double-digit underdog to Rutgers in week 1.
Yeah.
But Donnie, before we let you go, because we're not going to keep Donnie on forever, we just wanted to have him check in. We'll be back, obviously, Monday, starting the first show. And it's going to be just like the old Right Side of Campus. We're going to talk about I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can get, topics on the show here. We can kind of see, but
can you write on the screen here? Is it possible?
You can.
Above? Yeah.
You can. We're going to talk topics. We're going to go over the day stories. We're going to talk a little, a couple games. And Donnie, there is an NFL announcement coming up that we'll get to. I don't want to announce it yet because I don't have the fortitude to do that.
Why did I freeze? Am I still here? There I am. Yep.
Right, yeah, you're still here. Let's just say that the NFL announcement, a lot of people might be upset about, but a lot of people are going to be happy as well. Look, it's going to be fun, put it that way. Donnie, before we let you go, I want to just talk about one game that I think you'll have some interest in. And this is a really small game, but it's tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Yep.
You got Central Michigan, who you just mentioned, up at the MAC, Mount Pleasant, stand up. They're hosting Albany, the Great Danes of Albany. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, Donnie, if I asked you who Albany's quarterback last year was, you wouldn't know who it was.
No,
right?
I would have no idea who it was.
It was no one other than Vincent Testaverde. Do you know who that is?
Dude, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. You know what's funny? We said that. Me and Ian were down there talking about when he just – because it said on I think it was Saturday night during the game, it broke that Testaverde got signed with Tampa Bay, I guess. I don't know why. And I said, Ian, he used to go to Miami, and I never even knew where he went to. Why is he signed? Thank you for bringing that up. My ears must have been ringing.
Yeah, Vincent Testaverde, who let's be honest, Donnie. Do you think if his last name wasn't Testaverde, do you think he'd be in the NFL?
No, I don't
think
he would. I actually thought somebody was just doing a joke, hey, we need a camp arm for 4 days before the season starts. Let's just sign this, and it'll be funny when we release it to Schefter that we signed Vincent Testaverde.
Yeah, keep in mind, he does play for the Bucs, so if you're interested in Testaverde stock, there's where it is. They play Albany, though, week 1. And Albany is a bad team. They don't have their quarterback. They're coming into a Central Michigan team, right, that has Jim McElwain as their coach now. I think their offense gets going a little bit. Last year, they really struggled. Tony Polian and that group just weren't any good. In fact, Donnie, last year, Central Michigan, 1.7 yards per play less than where they were in 2017. So this team offensively really struggled. I think defensively they battened down the hatches. I don't understand why this number is only 14. This seems to me like a 37-13 type of game. I think Albany struggles. I think Central Michigan with your boy Romello Ross run all over the Great Danes. This isn't basketball. This isn't Peter Hooley and the great Albany teams of old. This is a football game. Central Michigan, I like tomorrow. How about Jim McElwain and Donnie out in Mount Pleasant? No more
No,
Jim
I like that.
Bonamigo.
Yep. No, when you bring in those, Power 5 type guys, they can sort of get back. The other interesting one you're looking at here, still in a Power 5 conference, is like Les Miles going back to Kansas. They can reinvigorate a program and jumpstart it back up, because you're right. When you take a look at Romello Ross, who's good, Jonathan Ward also. And how about this? It's a shame, our good friend Guan White is not in here to give us that ultra scouting report again on Dormady.
Yeah, by the way, that's a good point by you with Dormady. I remember him at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Listen, if a 4-star recruit can't dominate Albany, I don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. It's like you got your guy now. They also have a Virginia Tech transfer at receiver. This team should be able to move the ball with ease. I don't understand why this number is only 14. That's a free play I like tomorrow for you in that ass. Donnie, someone's asking, where was that at? Can we get a free play from you? Listen, Donnie doesn't bet college football until like when?
It's basically it lines up with my football season in the NFL week 3. So I'm not really getting down. Let me go. Do we all bet on the side? Of course we all bet on the side, but you don't want my information that says, hey, I need to put my rent on this game, because I'm not the one to give it to you here early.
Shout out to Joe M on Twitter. He tweeted out the show link and says, if you like good football analysis and arguments over cheesesteaks, get in here. That's right. Very well said. Donnie, now, do you want to hang around?
Just break down. Look, I don't have anywhere to go here. Like, I'm just watching some baseball games. I want to hang in the chat. Let me hang in the chat.
How about you just speak up when you feel like it?
Yes.
Because I'll be going over games that you know about. So why not just speak up?
Let's do it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's start with the Thursday card. Listen, I'm not going over every game, guys. I'm going to give opinions quickly on everything I can, because not many people know this. I do have a life, and I do have something I'm doing tonight, which Donnie knows about, and I won't be around. So I can't be in here till 12 o'clock at night. But let's go over some things here. I talked about UCLA Cincinnati. This number's back up to 3. Cincy at 3. Donnie, did you ever see the day that Cincinnati would be a favorite over UCLA? You ever think that would ever happen?
Amazing. And again, we're not even talking about like, rebuild mode. You're talking about Chip Kelly's second year at UCLA. Yeah. Jesus, come on.
I'm concerned about Dorian Thompson-Baker. I don't love the kid. I don't think he's terrific or anything. I do like their skill position players. I think they'll be much better on defense UCLA this year. Really struggled at times defending the run, all that sort of thing. I've talked about Cincinnati. I'm very high on this team. I think it's 6-1. They're a sleeper to win the American. This is a good football team. Luke Fickell won't be there too long. He's too good of a coach to be at Cincinnati. However, we've seen this team really resonate over the last couple of years. Desmond Ridder at quarterback, Michael Warren at running back. This is a team that can move the football. They've one of the stingier defenses in the country. This is a tough spot for UCLA, but I think their defense improves. This number is too high total-wise. 57.5 is too high. I think this game's 31-20, 28-21, something like that. I think this number at 57.5 is too high. I'd lean under this one. I look at a game like last year, 26-17. I think that's definitely feasible here. I think UCLA's better. I don't know how good their quarterback play is for me to get real involved. Tomorrow, a lot of filler games. Donnie, you got Buffalo, Robert Morris, Wagner, Connecticut. By the way, Buffalo is a bad football team. Gabe Morency mentioned this to me the other night. Buffalo is a 46.5-point favorite to Robert Morris. Keep in mind, Robert Morris, 2 wins last year. Bad football team. But Buffalo, they lose Tyree Jackson. KJ Osborne's gone. They don't have a lot of talent there. Is it, Donnie, feasible to say that they might not score 46.5 points?
Yeah, isn't that what you're basing it off of? Like, if you just start a game at 46, you have to say, well, Buffalo's getting to 50 without the other team even scoring. Well, man, Robert, is this an upstart program? What are we giving away 50 to Buffalo?
Yeah, listen, if Buffalo had Osborne and Tyree Jackson, I'd be like, okay, I'm in. But, look, Gabe made the point that he doesn't think they'll score 46.5. This could be 45-0. Donnie, those are rough ways to lose. 49-0 and your total's 50.
Yes.
They're brutal. I had one last year, Colorado State, Nevada. Total was 58. Nevada scored 51 points. The game didn't go over. It's rough when that happens.
Same one. Remember the one last year we were sitting there laughing at, the one we got lucky on, like Clemson hangs like 58-3 and the over-under is like 64 and you're not going to get it. You're like, are you kidding me? And they busted like the last play of the game. No, we've all been there before.
If I'm laying a big number tomorrow night, it'd be UAB against Alabama State. Alabama State is a SWAC team. As we know in basketball and football, SWAC the worst of the worst as far as any sort of FCS or FBS level. UAB is a good football team. Bill Clark has been a terrific coach there. He's basically resurrected a program that, Donnie, 3 or 4 years ago wasn't even around. This team was completely defunct. He brings them back. They're winning bowl games. Spencer Brown's fantastic. They made a change at quarterback. I like UAB. They could win big tomorrow night. Georgia Tech, Clemson. Donnie, this number's up to 37.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech getting 37 points. Doesn't that come across, Donnie, to you as kind of high for Georgia Tech? I know Georgia Tech's got a new offense and a new coach and, a quarterback that we don't know a lot about. And I know Clemson's good, but they got Texas A&M on deck. 37 seems like a number you'd give to like Texas State or Georgia Southern, not Georgia Tech. I think it's a bit high, but I'm avoiding. I just don't really want to get.
Yeah, you brought up the good point you brought up there is when you have the next team on deck. I mean, let's just say, you have a Heisman candidate at quarterback. You want him to win the Heisman, so you want him to get his numbers. But if we're talking about 42-0, like a worst case scenario, late third quarter, are we really running these guys back out here saying, you know what, let's escape, no injuries, and let's just get the next week versus Texas A&M? That's how I would look at it. But it's hard. The hardest thing we do in this business, Jeff, usually like week 1 is hard as it is. Now you get a different regime coming off a triple option offense. It's a wacky game, man.
Yeah, you're speculating. Georgia Tech, though, keep in mind, I think one of the strengths of this team is their secondary. I think they have a good hard-nosed secondary. They could hold Trevor Lawrence down a little bit. But, Donnie, I'm looking at points and what a possible score here could be. Let's say Clemson scores 51.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it out of the question to think that Georgia Tech can't score 17 points?
Yeah, it's interesting because you see how good Clemson and talented they were last year. So most things in your head, you're saying to myself like, well, wait a second, they might not be able to score. New offense, new coach, new scheme altogether. You have to remember, like, yes, Clemson's going to reload, but they lost some 10 bell cows on that front seven from last year.
No, you're totally right. And that's the thing about Clemson. That's a good point by you. I think we just assume that Clemson is going to reload.
It's that defense. Yep. Yeah.
Right. And they will. But, I mean, they lose a lot. The talent they lost last year on that defensive line. I mean, what, they have 4 guys going in the top 30?
Damn right.
They were good. And keep in mind, they also had Albert Huggins, who went pretty deep pretty early as well in the NFL draft. So, I mean, this is a team that did lose a lot.
Yeah.
To lay 37, this seems like a number I'd give to, like, Akron or somebody like that, not Georgia Tech. I think Jeff Collins a little bit more pride than that. Donnie, a team that I have my eye on this year, I want to make clear to everyone here, Texas State's going to win some games this year down in the Sun Belt. Yeah. The boys from San Marcos, new coach Jake Spavital. They have a new offensive coordinator, Bob Stitt, who, Donnie, was the creator of the jet sweep, which not a lot of people know. They have a new quarterback. They have a new defense, and a defense is actually quite good. Texas A&M, Donnie, why do I have the feeling he's got an eye on Clemson for week 2? This is a big number. If it gets to 35, I have interest here, but keep an eye on Texas State this year.
By the way, Jeff, when we talk about some of these bitter rivalries that we had, if I remember one of the last shows that we had done together, San Marcos was on your mind, and some people weren't too happy with you on that.
Well, yeah, I think it's one of the worst towns in America, really. I mean, it is. I mean, you ever been there, Donnie?
No,
I mean, it's terrific. Let me tell you about San Marcos, right? So I went to San Antonio for the Final Four a year or two ago, whenever it was. And I flew into Austin, and I was driven from Austin to San Antonio, and you go right past San Marcos. Well, let me tell you, the most cool thing in the town, you know what it is, Donnie?
Was it like, I don't know, like a ranch or like a, something?
No,
like
they
that?
have a Texaco. It's like a gas station.
That's where they all huddle?
Looks like a terrible place to live. I would I'd literally rather live with the Amish than live in San Marcos, Texas. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in. We're starting to get some real steam in this chat, Donnie. People are loving this. 65 people, which, again, I don't really promote shows. It's just me that does it. I thank all of you for watching. Do me a favor, tell your friends, retweet the show, and send in any questions that you might have. I'm going down these games as quick as I can. I'll get to all of you. Donnie, we don't have much more for Thursday night. There is a big game, though, out in the West Coast, the Holy War, which this might be the best name for a game I can ask for. Holy War, you got Utah and Brigham Young. This game reminds me a lot of Florida-Miami. I think it comes down to the wire. I think BYU is better than people think. Sharps have backed BYU. They had this number down to 5.5. Public's come in. They're taking Utah. The only concern you have for Brigham Young, do they finally have a quarterback? Because over the years, the Tanner Mangums, the Bo Hodges, they haven't been good enough. Zach Wilson, though, the new quarterback, people are interested in. They're high on. Defensively, BYU, always good. Donnie, why do I have the feeling this game comes down to a big-time Utah field goal? As we know, special teams for that group, always very good. I think the 6 is valuable here. I would probably take them here. Utah, BYU, they hate each other. You got Mormon against non-Mormon. This should be a wild atmosphere out on the West Coast. I kind of like the points here for BYU. Don't know if it'll be a play yet, but I like this one. Donnie, the Holy War, that's going to be one of the better names.
No, it is a great one. And you're going to get a packed house. That's going to be a really good environment. But again, we always joke about BYU. You can't drink and you can't have caffeine. But, they do have a nice dance team, Jeff, as we've seen out there with some of the videos from last year. But looking at this game, Jeff, do you think that line movement, because I was looking at it early in the week, and you're right, it was down like 5.5 at some outlets. Then you see like Zach Moss is coming back. He's healthy. The wide receivers coming back healthy. And all of a sudden you saw that thing creep up, a half, a point and a half in some outlets out there.
Yeah, I think early, like a month ago, there was down to 5.5, 5, and I think a lot of sharps are jumping on BYU. The public starting to come in, starting to bet back with Utah, and the numbers going back up. Something tells me this game comes down to the wire. I think it's a hard-nosed, low-scoring game. I think you'd be first to 24 might win this one, Donnie. I think it could be an interesting game.
Yeah.
One more, Army Rice. And a lot of people, actually, this is on Friday, so I'm going to get into Friday here. Army Rice, Donnie. You talk about a weird line movement. Army on Monday was a 23-point favorite. They're now 21.5-point favorite. Who is betting Rice here? I'm going to tell you who's betting Rice. Big bettors, smart bettors. Here's 2 things about Rice, Donnie, you need to know. They're bad. No one will say that they're not. They are, though. According to Mike Bloomgren, their coach, they have been preparing for Army since February. Do you believe that?
Yeah, you're right. You bring up a really good point on that, too, because I'll let you expand on that. But you're right. If you have this type of offense you're saying, is there not a better situation to get them game 1? Because you get them game 2, you're not really preparing for them altogether, and you have that 1 week. Yeah, good point.
No, it's a great thing to have. Week 1 is the 1 week where you have a shot. Like Bucknell plays Temple, Donnie, and Bucknell could spend the whole offseason preparing for Temple. They're still going to lose by 40, but they have time. They don't have to, if this was week 2, I think Rice would get destroyed. But Mike Bloomgren has been very adamant that Rice is ready for this game. Here's the problem, though, for Army. I love Army. They're going to win this game. They're going to have no issues winning it. Here's the concern, though. You look at Army, Donnie, as a double-digit favorite. Really over the last decade, they have been horrific. In fact, all military schools have been. They're not good in the double-digit favorite role. Army's also 4-11 over the last 15 season openers. For whatever reason, they just don't really play well. I think you need that camaraderie, Donnie, with Army. You need that cohesion. You need that discipline. Maybe if you're going to have Army and maybe have them at a tough spot, this might be the only one on the schedule that you have. You also keep in mind, Army lost their 2 top tailbacks last year. I know a lot of people won't bring that up. Some people just assume that Army has the same players forever and their run defense is going to be great and they're going to run for 6 yards a carry. Just because, we just assume. You got to do your homework. You got to know who's coming back. Andy Davidson's gone. Woolfolk's gone. Also, their defensive coordinator, Jay Bateman's gone as well. I think early on I looked at Army and I said, you know what, they're just going to roll in this game. But then I started to wonder, and they still may. I remember last year, Donnie, they played Fordham game 1. I liked Fordham in that game. Army put up 60-plus points in that game. So just keep in mind, don't go crazy on this game. I think Army will win. They should win easily. But
what do you think about a total in this one, Jeff?
48, yeah.
Because the one thing we like about Army now with their head football coach over the past couple of years, they're real analytical, meaning if it's like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, even if it's around midfield, they don't punt and pin you deep. They go for it. It's nice.
Yeah, and I think you make an interesting point. I think with the total, 48, I think we can venture to say it's probably likely that Rice doesn't score more than 10 points in this game. They're just not a very good offensive team. I mean, they just aren't. I think you're going to sit on your hands the whole game. I mean, you're just going to hope that Army can your Rice can stop them, and I don't really have a lot of reason to think they will. I feel like if you like Rice, maybe a first half play, maybe they come out a little chicken with a head cut off, but I wouldn't go crazy on this game. Let Army do their thing tomorrow. Then they can really bury teams because no one's going to be prepared for the option. What else do we have here? Wisconsin, South Florida. Wisconsin laying 12.5. Total is 59. Here's the thing that I'm worried about if I'm South Florida in this game. Donnie, this game is in South Florida. Weather report, though, out of that area, rainy, windy, thunderstorms, that kind of thing. Who do you think that benefits, Wisconsin or South Florida?
I mean, you're probably going to say it's going to benefit Wisconsin. Get the big uglies up there and pound the football.
Of course it is. And you have a 2,000-yard rusher in Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, man.
Listen, at the end of the day, South Florida has been inept for a lot of years. Blake Barnett is so inconsistent. Look, the guy had 12 touchdowns and 11 receptions last year. He had a lot of inconsistencies. It wasn't good enough. I remember a game against Illinois. I bet
I'm going to bring that up. Yeah,
he just couldn't move the football against Illinois. It was odd. You always remember the losses, Donnie. But
they played that game at Soldier Field, Jeff, if you remember.
I think if and I want to make this clear, I'm not a teaser guy anymore. I don't bet a lot of teasers. I think this would be a good one if you can find a pair with it. Get this down to 6.5. But I still like the 12.5. I think this is like a 38-21 type of game. I don't think it's going to be crazy high scoring. I think you can get close to 60. South Florida, though, Donnie, this is also a team, and this doesn't bode well for South Florida. South Florida gave up over 248 yards last year on the ground. That's not a good recipe when you're going to play Wisconsin, maybe in rainy conditions. That's a concern if I'm a fan of the South Florida Bulls. I think they have major issues in this game. Let's check in on the chat here, see what people are saying. Josh Turnage, welcome in. Thanks for watching, bro. I also heard someone say that they love my college basketball. Thank you guys. You're very kind. I'm looking to take Georgia Tech versus Clemson in game as I can't decide who to take. Yeah, I mean, that might be a good option for you. What else do we have here? Capper John says that Army minus 23 is a gift. It might be. I mean, maybe I'm reading too far into it. Look, if you held a gun to my head and said pick it or I'll blow your head off, I would probably take Army. But I think Rice, if this is a game to like hang in a game, maybe it might be this one might be it.
You got to score every possession if you're Army in that game, which they can and they do, but that's really what you need. I mean, 11, 12, 13 play drives, 8 minutes off the clock. That's what it does.
Exactly. I think you're totally right. Tulsa, Michigan State. Do me a favor, guys. If you want my thoughts on this game, you can watch this preview on my channel. I previewed it with Joe Duffy. We were both on the same side here, and it's not as obvious as you think. That Tulsa team, Donnie, they're a wild card in the American as well. They have a really good defense. In fact, Donnie, this is surprising to know. Tulsa last year improved on defense from a yardage given up standpoint by almost 121 yards in the year before. They were 8th last year in the country from a pass defense perspective. I'm talking about Tulsa. Yeah. A couple years ago, they couldn't stop anybody. Amazing. And Michigan State couldn't move the ball last year. That could be an interesting game. Could be closer than people think. Tulsa took Texas to the woodshed last year as well. Purdue, Nevada, Donnie. Are you a Last Chance U guy? Did you watch Last Chance?
No, I did not watch it. No, but I do see the guy on Hard Knocks from there. Yeah.
Malika Henry, though, also he was on not Hard Knocks, Last Chance U. He was kind of a behavioral issue. He's on Nevada. He was trying to win the job. He didn't win the job. They're going to go with Carson Strong, Donnie. He's going to replace Ty Ganji, who graduated.
Yes.
This is a trendy upstart underdog, Nevada, and I agree with it. Nevada's at home here. They're getting Purdue, who, look, I like Sindler. I think Rondell Moore is one of the most electrifying players we've seen in a long time in this game, and I think by the end of it, I think he could be a Heisman Trophy guy that goes to New York. I don't know if he'll ever win it, but I think in his career he will go. I have some concerns for a few different reasons with Purdue. First of all, I love the offense that Nevada throws out. Jay Norvell is a good coach, no matter who's the quarterback, whether it's Strong or Solano, whoever. Strong is a guy that can move the football. They have a lot of good receivers there. They have a good running back, a good Samoan running back that can move the football. And this is a defense, Donnie Wright said. Last year in Purdue, they gave up 30 points a game. They allowed 285 passing yards per game, third most in the country. This number is too high. This reminds me of Arizona and Hawaii. I think Nevada not only covers, I think they can win this game. I think 11 points is too high. But I think it's a dead ringer for Hawaii, Arizona. Purdue's not good enough defensively to lay this kind of number. Any quick thoughts on that, Donnie?
No quick thoughts, but I will be paying attention to it.
Yeah, you have to. Nevada's an interesting team as well out in the Mountain West. Let's go through a couple others here, and then we'll get into Saturday. We're not going to be on here all night. East Carolina, NC State.
That's
I've also talked about this game. Look, I've been on ECU way before anyone else. So Stanford Steve, stop stealing my fucking teams. Who else stole my? Everyone. Everyone loves East Carolina. Maybe it's because I do. East Carolina is a good team. They're going to go to a bowl this year. I think they hang in this game against NC State. If you want my preview, you can watch my video on my channel. I get 18 in this game. It's down to 17. Donnie, that's what we call CLV in this.
Can you cash it? Can you just walk up to the window right now, Jeff? Just blast it.
No, surprisingly, no. A lot of people think that you could just go up to the window and say, I have CLV, but I lost. Well, can I still cash my ticket? No, you cannot. Oklahoma State, Oregon State. Someone asked me about this game. What do I think of the team total over 44? I mean, Oregon State's a horrific defense. Mike Gundy's group should be able to do whatever they want. They did lose some weapons last year. You lose, guys like Justice Hill and guys like that. So, this isn't Mason Rudolph and James Washington. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They should score 45 here in this game, though. What else do we have? Anything of note?
Dude, what about the one that you saw the retweets today, which everybody gets so interested in? Oh my God, so much money just came in on Illinois. What are we going to do? You see those?
No, I didn't see that actually.
Somebody was dropping like 30 or 50 G's on Illinois at -17, which now shows up at -18. That was the big Darren Ravel news of the day that got retweeted by everybody.
Yeah, by the way, he's one of the worst human beings in this business. Just horrific. Look, I think I have a lot of concerns about laying almost 20 points with Illinois. I like their offense. I think their run game's really good. I mean, remember last year, Donnie, Ronnie Rivers and those guys, and they're a good offense. I mean,
dude, I love their two running back. It's a shame they never could get a quarterback that can actually be like self-sufficient back there and pass, but they got two really good running backs on their team.
No, they do. They have a guy named Reggie Corbin. He's a good running back as well. I think their defense has to improve. I mean, it can only go up. Look, Akron's on a different level than Illinois, even though Illinois is not on really a level either. Yeah, I mean, gun to my head, I'd probably take Illinois, but
exactly. And then you're taking Illinois, you're sitting back, and then you see, Lovie Smith on the sideline. You go, God damn it, what am I doing with this? Like, what am I doing with this?
Stupid beard.
Oh, just talking about like NFL. Oh man. Oh,
I like Lovie Smith, but I mean, I think he's, for whatever reason, he's been in over his head at Illinois. One or two others. Indiana State, Kansas. I'm only mentioning this game because Kansas is a favorite. And this is one of their only chances to win a game this year. I think Les Miles will have that team better. They have a good junior quarterback, junior college quarterback, but they're going to be without Puka Robinson, who is their best player. He's suspended. Oddly enough, Donnie, he's suspended for a game, even though his trial, his conviction was dismissed. I don't understand that. I guess Les Miles is trying to make an example out of somebody, which is odd because Kansas needs to win football games. Why are you suspending people that haven't done anything criminally wrong? But you should win that game. If you're Les Miles, Donnie, you can't lose to Indiana State. I mean,
you can't get off the regime the wrong direction that way. Certainly, it's not like you're going in and playing like Texas or something.
This could be the best bet of the weekend. I mean, is it likely? I mean, don't we have a real feeling, Donnie, that even though Kansas stinks, this can't be a struggle.
But why is it 5.5? Like Indiana State? Like, come on, this is the Sycamores out here. Jesus.
Well, I guess because without Puka, they think they're going to just. Yeah, I mean, this isn't basketball either. I mean, Indiana State's had some decent teams over the years.
Damn right.
I remember Larry Bird went there, but Ole Miss, Memphis, Donnie. This is going to be this is definitely going to be a play for me. Where do you think I'm going in this game?
I'm thinking you're going over in this one.
Well, I'm going to, but I really like Ole Miss in this game. And look, I know Ole Miss can't catch a break. To me, and Matt Luke is doing whatever he can, Donnie, to hold on to that job. Yeah. Even though, like Ed Orgeron, but Ed Orgeron's won the job. Matt Luke reminds me of Ed Orgeron. It's kind of like we know he's not good enough to be a coach, but the guys like him, and maybe he can find his way.
Yeah, and he comes in right after he gets haymakered by Hugh Freeze, just giving everybody money. Exactly.
Right, and now they're out of the sanction stuff. They can make bowl games. The problem they have with Ole Miss, Donnie, is the timing has just been horrific. I mean, now you're out of bowl hell. And your best players are gone. I mean, DK Metcalf's gone. A.J. Brown's gone. Jordan Tamu's gone.
Yep.
Everybody's gone. I mean, the timing for Ole Miss has been horrific.
Yeah.
But listen, Memphis is another team. They are nowhere near good enough defensively to be laying really points to anybody. Ole Miss will move the ball. Scotty Phillips can move the ball. He's a good running back. Overs the play here. 68. You're seriously going to give me a total under 70?
Yeah, they're going to be launching all over the place. They're going to be throwing all over the place, both teams.
And keep in mind, I mean, Memphis is a good football team. I mean, they can move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Real good program. In fact, Donnie, I heard someone on, I want to say it was Sirius College Football Channel, say that this could be an interesting game because the coach at Memphis, this could be a landing spot for him, Ole Miss. It could be a game where they try to target him.
Yeah.
Who's your coach? Justin Fuente, I believe. Oh, no, Justin Fuente's
Norvell, right?
Norvell, Mike Norvell, right? Yep. But yeah, something tells me this is a shootout, 41-38, 44-40, something like that. I'd take Ole Miss. I'd take the over. This is a good upset pick. I think Ole Miss could win this game. And I know people down at the Grove will be happy about that. What else do we have here?
How about Jeff? What about a little Eastern Michigan Coastal, man? Come on.
Yeah,
how many times would I bet goddamn Coastal Carolina? Oh my goodness, Marable, all those clowns. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
man.
We had, and for anyone who doesn't know, Donnie and I sold picks together last year. And look, I'm not going to make this like excuse hour, but we've talked about this at times. We were on some of the worst beats in like history last year. It was quite amazing. But Coastal Carolina, UL Lafayette, those kind of teams, they gave us major issues. Eastern Michigan's got a new quarterback, Mike Glass. He's not.
No,
really
he was there
new.
last year. He was there last year.
But they were going back and forth. They had, they were just off of losing Brogan Roback, and they also lost Max Crosby, their tight end, who now plays for the Oakland Raiders and has been involved with Hard Knocks. I want to think that Eastern Michigan defense is really good. I think if I'm looking at this game, Donnie, I'd look under the total. I can't seem to think Coastal's going to be able to move the ball very much.
By the way, Shaq Van is gone now. Did I see that come up on the ticker last week?
No, that's incorrect.
Portal is really?
No, he's still there, as far as I know, unless he's was put in the transfer portal recently.
I swear, I thought I might have saw. Let me just look this up real quick here.
No, according to their depth chart, he's still there.
He's still there. All right, good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something to be excited about. Plus, you have a defense here that was pretty good. The problem for this group, Eastern Michigan, is you only have two seniors in this defense. I mean, there's not a lot of leadership out there. I don't have much. I considered Eastern Michigan early, but this one got up to like 7 at one point. Just kind of lost interest in it. I kind of liking the under now at 53.5. I don't think we'll see a ton of points in this game. Donnie, Duke, Alabama. Does Alabama call the dogs off because they respect David Cutcliffe?
No, I don't think they get down like that. But where's we've talked about this many times coming in the season. These early like out of conference games where maybe they don't press the needle down, or is that just we make a point of this with Alabama when they play like the MAC schools, where it's like, hey, we don't want to embarrass these guys.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. Nick Saban does a weird way to do it. I feel like you'd be like Alabama, you go first half here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they killed it last year. All right, Ryan Ellerby. Do these guys really –
Wait, am I making 75 now? God,
do you guys realize nobody cares what you clowns think? Maybe 300 views on average. How sad. Donnie getting 75 a week at SBR.
I was only getting 50, so thank you for the – I got to take that back.
I actually was paying them.
That's true. That was the rumor last year.
And now I'm only making $0, so I don't actually owe them anything now. So, but hey, Ryan, thanks for watching, man. You're benefiting me, so I appreciate it. Why do I have a feeling I know who that is?
Oh, we
all right, Donnie, we'll do a couple more and then we'll get up out of here. Northwestern, Stanford. Another game I like. Why Stanford 6.5 point favorite in this game? I don't understand why. Costello's a solid quarterback. I like what Stanford could do. They're always tough. But Northwestern, even after losing Clayton Thorson last year, you bring in Hunter Johnson, an elite quarterback who could start at Clemson. The only reason he's not is because they have a guy named Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why is Stanford a 6.5 point favorite in this game? This is a name game. It's Stanford, so they have to be good. Keep in mind, Stanford last year was horrendous through the air. I mean, they give up like 265 yards a game. They were just awful.
And their coach continues to make baffling calls on 2nd and short, 3rd and short,
Yeah,
4th and short. Oh my goodness!
Listen, David Shaw is a kind guy. He kind of looks like he'd be like I don't know, like your mayor of your town or something.
Yeah,
he seems like a nice,
he's the cool principal at the school, right?
Yeah,
you get in trouble, you go to him. Like, yes.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be in some kind of position of power. I saw him talking to Andrew Luck. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, good coach. But here's the one thing about David Shaw that I don't like. He's a fucking weenie. He's like Chris Peterson. He never does anything like risky. He never takes any chances. And he always has these lame run games. Like Bryce Love, Donnie, was that one of the worst decisions ever to go back to college? I mean, he had a terrible year last year. I don't see that kind of player for Stanford right now, at least. I don't think Stanford's the same team as we think they used to be. They don't have Zach Ertz. They don't have Andrew Luck. They don't have Christian McCaffrey. And by the way, Donnie, last time these two teams played, Northwestern beat them. I think it happens again here. I like the 6.5 here. I don't know why Stanford's laying this kind of number.
No, I can't push you on that because I know the MO of Shaw. So yeah, I can't fight you on that one.
Got to take control early if you're Northwestern. What else do we have here? Any other comments? Let's see. Always like to involve the audience here. Jake Phelps, Purdue wins big. All right, Jake, elaborate. Why do you think they're going to win big? Duffel bag boy loaded up on Illinois. Is that true? That duffel bag boy's back? That idiot? Oh,
that must be why he was getting so many retweets. I was like saying, okay, so we have a bet on Illinois. What's the big deal? So I guess we're going to start that whole charade again this year.
Yeah, and by the way, duffel bag boy sucked. He never won. There's a reason he stopped betting. He didn't have any more money.
Is he even a real guy, or are we just having this for conversation?
Yeah, I think this is Patrick Everson, that covers guy who always tweets shit. I think this is his I'm going to create something that's not true just to get clicks. What is CLV? CLV is closing line value. It's basically, let's say a team's -6, but you got them at I don't know, -4.5, and they're the best number out there. That would be CLV. You're getting closing value on the line when it closes. So it's just like it sounds. The line you get is better than the line that closes. So people think that when they get that, they're getting the best line. And I've heard guys like Bill Krakenberger say that getting CLV is like better than sex or something, which is
even if it doesn't win, it just feels just as good as winning, though.
Sure. That's what all the big time whales will tell you that make so much money betting on football. Yeah. Even though they do win. But Donnie, the new thing in sports betting is they aren't a tout, yet they do sell their picks for money, but they're investing, or they're part of a group.
Now, if you change the mold with that, Jeff, and you said instead of selling picks, I'm going to sell like CLV. Like, is that okay to charge for? I guess?
Like, all you do is all you're basically looked at on is if you get the best number. And it's funny because, as I said, when you go to the winning, when you go cash your ticket and you say, "Hey, I have CLV," you know what the ticket guy's going to say? Like Melvin Betances, he's going to say, "What the fuck is CLV?" What is that? A sexually transmitted disease? CLV. I don't know. What else do we have here? Joe Morosky. I'm bummed Idaho went down to FBS. Nothing better than watching a game from that horrible dome. Yeah, what's that
Kibby
called?
Dome. It's Kibby Dome.
Yeah.
Sure. Hell yeah. God, that was some good football.
Nothing like some Vandal football.
Damn. They used to have to, especially used to get them because you would have them having teams travel like 3,000 miles just to get to that damn place. And it was so hard to travel to. It had such an advantage.
It's like going to Laramie.
Yes, like going to Russia.
Yeah, sure. It's funny because it is like going to Russia, and you're going to a place called Moscow, Idaho.
Exactly, yes.
A lot of people like Northwestern, exciting. Two of the biggest losers in the industry, back again with more fade material. Yeah, listen, hey, make sure when you here's what I'll do, though. Let me know, Ryan, what book you bet on when you fade us. I'll give you a bonus code so you can make some money on top of it. Let me know. Is that Peter Griffin? Great call, Mark. It's not. My name's Jeff, not Peter, but thanks for checking out. I'm taking
Who the hell's Peter Griffin?
That dude from Family Guy.
Oh, gotcha.
He's basically making a joke that
I'm
overweight, which my name's Big Man on Campus, pal. You don't think I don't know that? Thanks. But keep in mind, I will, and Donnie knows this. My girlfriend is a fucking 12. I don't know about what your girl.
She's not 12. She's a 12, right?
She is a 12, correct. She's a great girl. You know that, Donnie. You met her.
Yeah, of course I have.
You met her at the Christmas party.
Been around the family.
Which, by the way, a lot of people said she was a hooker, and I paid her to come there.
To the family party.
Keep in mind, a year later, we're still dating.
That's a lot of money you paid her then.
I'm actually in debt. They called that prop swap. What did they call prop swap? Donnie, let's go through one or two more games here, and then we'll wrap this show up. And it's nice to have Donnie here. I haven't done a show with him in so long.
It's enjoyable.
It's nice to have him here. SMU, Arkansas State. SMU's got a new quarterback, Donnie. You know who it is? Shane Buechele.
That's right.
Texas.
By the way, the kid from SMU went to Arkansas. Where did he go?
Ben Hicks, you mean?
Yeah, where did Ben Hicks go?
Ben Hicks is at Arkansas, yes. Which they're going to be a good team. And actually, Chad Morris is he's around still. He's still the coach at SMU, I believe.
Jeff, how about you take an SMU game last year? It looks good, and all of a sudden just pouring rain out of nowhere.
Sure. TCU game. Yes. Sure. But I ask you, Donnie, Justice Hansen for Arkansas State, he's gone. And they're a favorite in this game, which is surprising. I think there's some points in this game. I think both offenses will move the football pretty well here. I'm surprised SMU's an underdog here. This seems like a nice spot for them to get a win. I mean, if you're SMU, you really can't. If you want to get to a bowl game, you want to build some wins here. You can't lose a game like this. Kansas State, Donnie, Nicholls State, Kansas State. Nicholls State is a very good FCS team. They're top 10. Watch out for this game. Kansas State, it's a new regime at Kansas State. Bill Snyder. Donnie is gone. And by the way, Bill Snyder is arguably the most overrated coach in the history of sports. Nice guy and all, but he never won when it mattered most.
Because the nice guy with a loophole of I'm just going to take JUCO transfers and see if they work out for 1 year. Not good enough to gel together, but good enough to actually put out a bowl winning program. Yeah,
right, because a lot of people don't know Kansas is one of the best JUCO states in the country. Yes. That's why Les Miles, if he's smart, he just goes to Independence, Garden City, all those schools and just recruits from there. But the new coach of Kansas State, Donnie, Chris Kleiman, he was at North Dakota State for a lot of years. From what I understand, down in Manhattan, he's instituted a really good culture there. They're starting to buy in. He's going to win there. I don't know if it's going to be a year from now or a few years from now, but that's a good football team down the road. Keep your eye on that team. But this is a tough game. Nicholls State beat Kansas last year. They're a team that will be top 10 in the FCS. 22.5 is a lot of points for Kansas State, a team that's going through some rebuild here. I already bet Michigan. Donnie, how about that? I got Michigan State 31. It's up to 34.5. That's CLV for you.
That is it, man.
Oregon Auburn. A lot of people asking about this game. This is kind of, Donnie, you would have to say is the best game of the weekend, right?
Probably, yes. I mean, I'm by the way, who do you think would have the edge in that game? Because all I hear is Auburn front seven getting after it, but then you have Herbert, the quarterback. Where are we looking in this game? Yeah,
the problem with Herbert, though, is and I think this would be the concern with Herbert as he goes on towards the NFL draft, is can he beat good football teams? I've seen him wallow against really good teams, like in bowl games and in games that matter. And I think in this game, this is going to be a big test for him because we've seen, Donnie, last year Jake Browning had major trouble against Auburn. Look, at the end of the day, I don't love Auburn offensively, but Marlon Davidson, Big Cat Bryant, Derek Brown, Nick Coe, this defensive line is stout. It's one of the best in the country. This total's too high. I'm just going to say it right now. It's too high. This shouldn't be in the 50s. I think this total should be 49. I think 55.5 is too high. I like Herbert. I think Oregon's going to be a good offense. No one will say they aren't, but I don't think either team has a ton of success. You also look at Bo Nix. Oregon's not great defensively, but I don't know if he's going to be able to kind of decode an athletic group like that. 55.5 seems too high for me. I think this is a 24-20 type of game.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that game the most because you're right. When you get Oregon matched up, when you're still in that Pac-12 and, that softer type defense, you're getting that SEC defense, man. It's a good one. I'm excited. These are the games that I like early on because it tests the mettle. We'll see if Oregon's a real player in the Pac-12 this year.
Yeah, Donnie, this is a game that I think you're going to be interested in. Liberty, Syracuse.
Buckshot, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
Little buckshot Calvin.
Damn right. God, how much money did we? I don't think we lost a single time on Liberty last year, no matter what we did with them.
No,
What
because they were a great offense and they didn't stop anybody. Now you have Syracuse with Tommy DeVito as the new quarterback.
Oh, run it wild.
DeVito is more of a passer.
Mm-hmm.
Dino Babers is going to let him fly.
Yeah.
They might score 50 in this game against Liberty.
Gandy Golden. Mm-hmm.
Listen, Gandy Golden's back, right? And Buckshot's back. The problem that Liberty has in this game, according to reports, Hugh Freeze was near death.
Yes.
After getting a staph infection. Now, Donnie, I'm not going to make that joke, actually, because it might be a little early to make that joke. But, Donnie, Liberty, I heard someone calling a Barstool Radio yesterday and said that they go to Liberty and that Liberty will be playing really hard in this game because they'll be playing for Hugh Freeze. And I believe it. This is a game, Donnie, where
I read he's still coaching, like from either press box or whatever he's doing. Yeah.
No, he's in the hospital. He's got like a walkie-talkie.
He's not. That's what. Yes. So he's walkie-talkieing from the the hospital, not like the. That's wild.
I guess. I mean,
not even allowed.
Now, Donnie, Liberty is in Virginia.
Yes.
I believe it's in Lynchburg, Virginia. I think they have this is probably the biggest game in Liberty football history, right?
You would think.
I mean, this is huge. This is a game where, Syracuse is a top 25 team. Syracuse beat Clemson 2 years ago and almost beat them last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big game. This game screams points to me. Buckshot will move the ball.
They will.
And by the way, do you know Buckshot is his real middle name?
Is it really? What's his first name?
Steven.
Oh, yeah. Buckshot's pretty. Yeah, you got
like his birth certificate says Stephen Buckshot Calvert.
Well, he's from like Kentucky, right? Where the
That's wild. That his name's actually Buckshot Calvert. Where is this guy from? I want to say he's from Florida.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at their returners again. Hickson's back again this year. Gandy Golden's back. So you have when we look at totals, we want an up-tempo offense. You want a quarterback that can sling it, a running back that can bust it, and a wide receiver that's big time. Love it, man.
Now this is amazing, Don. Yeah. Listen to this. Okay, by the way, Buckshot Calvert looks exactly like you think he would.
Yes, he does.
He basically looks like Action Bronson, except skinnier.
Yep.
Donnie, he went to Carroll City High School. Do you know where that is?
Not the one in Florida, right?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
No,
it's like where Rick Ross is from.
No,
is this guy like a street dude? I think
there's no way. He's not. Yeah, but he's not. He's a white dude.
He is.
There's no way he went to Carroll.
I think he's one of these like street hood white dudes.
Oh my God, that is and his name is Buckshot.
Like he talks like this. Yo, what's up?
No way. We got to get him on the show. Can we call Liberty's?
Look, I'm seeing previous school, Miami Carroll City Senior High School.
Oh my God.
Did his dad just say, you know what, we're from Plantation, but you're going to go play with the hood dudes?
Yeah, just that somebody did that in New Jersey, went from Pittman to Woodrow Wilson High School, and he ended up with a scholarship to Western Michigan. He's now a freshman out there.
I actually knew this kid, Donnie, when I was younger in high school. He would go play in like the black neighborhoods. He'd play basketball down in the black neighborhoods. And I remember in high school, this kid, he's still one of the best basketball players I've ever seen live. But I've often said, I think if you want to make it in life as an athlete, go down. If you're from, let's say you're from New York, go to Dykeman, go to Rucker Park, go to Yonkers, go to those places and learn how to play basketball. This kid looks like a tough motherfucker here. Google Buckshot Calvert and tell me.
I can't believe, why isn't that a bigger story? Like, this is that's fantastic.
What, he's from Carroll City High School?
Yes, I cannot believe that. And he ended up at Liberty, like one of the most conservative, like Bible Belt schools you could possibly go to.
Yeah. No, it's pretty amazing. Good. I got to hear more about this.
Yeah,
guy.
we do.
I really have to. But let's quickly go over some chat box stuff here, and then we'll wrap this bugger up. How about that? You're not getting that on any other show. Let me tell you that.
Crazy.
Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Donnie, so we'll be back on what, Monday, Labor Day?
We will be back on Monday, Labor Day, 10 a.m. to get this NFL season and this college football season going on the right side of campus.
Yeah, and we'll have some fun. I mean, it's going to be fun for sure. What do we have here? Love to see you guys again. Football is back. Yes, it is. Happy to be back. Thanks for watching, Rob. Appreciate that.
Yep.
How does Appalachian State over sound? Appalachian State over, who, by
New
the
coach.
way,
Huh.
yeah, Eli Drinkowitz, I believe, is their new football coach, who was at NC State. One of the reasons I don't love NC State this year, that's an interesting one. East Tennessee State, who it's sad Guan White's not here. I know he knows a lot about East Tennessee State. Look, I know a lot about their basketball team,
sure.
but I don't know a ton about their football team. I do know that Appalachian State, and I do know a lot about this team. They are going to be very good in the Sun Belt. In fact, they're picked to win it. So I think, I think that's exciting. But I don't know a ton about East Tennessee State. I frankly didn't even know they had a football program, to be honest with you. And that's God's truth. I didn't know they had a football program. You will never be on Barstool. Fade.
Yeah, Jeff, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. If you only knew, Ryan.
Nah, they don't know. I'm telling you right now, like, just being on the air, it's going to be like, this is football season. And I always bring this up. Nobody knows like what me and Jeff, you brought up right up from the show. I thought you guys had a fallen out. I thought you guys couldn't stand each other. I said, actually, it's completely opposite. How many people in life, something doesn't work out the first time and it's like, we'll just go our separate ways or whatever it is. Some things just work out, man. And this is going to be so much fun. How much content are we going to have, Jeff? NFL, college football, right in the college basketball. Before you blink, Jeff, we're like, oh, man, another great run in the Final Four. Boy, it was fun this year. Oh, my God, I can't wait, man.
Donnie, sometimes when you do stuff, you go into business, and me and Donnie went into business together. We struggled. We had a lot of things we did wrong. I know I did, and I know he did as well. And I think sometimes you have to be willing to run it back. You have to go at it again. And we have some things that we're going to do that are going to change. But, we're getting some things going that I think people are going to be surprised by. People are going to think, what's going on? What's going on here, but it'll be fun. I'm happy to see you back, Donnie. I'm glad you're doing well. Look at that office, Donnie. Always with a sharp office. The one thing that I always do, Jeff, is I'm such a geek because anytime I see something I want to buy, like, oh my goodness, this like mic stand would look great, or like just buying like the little flags here, like I'm on SBR as well, like just putting one of these things on. We can change it. You got the LED boards in the back. What is next? A spaceship for you over there, Jeff? Come on, now,
let's go.
I want to quickly just talk about one thing before we go, because I like to pump Donnie up. Donnie. I think one thing about Donnie is he's always going to be there for the lows. He's always going to be there for the highs. And I want to make this clear for anyone who's curious. A lot of people struggle betting baseball. You look at the last 90 days for Donnie Rightside. 71-58. He's up about 6 units of profit. That's hard to do. He's got a good ROI. You look at his last 30 days. Up about 5 units, doing a nice job. It's not easy to win in baseball. He's done a nice job with the team totals, that kind of thing. And Donnie, I know you're tracked on Cap Protect, so make sure people go check Donnie at rightwage.com. Good work, Donnie. Football's coming up. You're one of your best sports, Donnie. You're coming off a season that
24 and 25 last year, which I was just going back to do the numbers, which I tell you, Jeff, I had a funny little story here today. Got an invoice from Handicappers Watchdog that actually charged the invoice to me already. So I went back to Handicappers and looked, 108 and 64, which is 63%. ROI of 25.25 over the last 4 years. That's how long I've been tracked on Handicappers Watchdog. And that includes, Jeff, the crappy 24 and 25 last year.
Now, keep in mind, I also think it's important to mention, I went 12-5 this year in the NFL.
Yeah, you did. So, God damn, you should be an NFL guy. Shit.
Right. So keep in mind, 36 out of 66 is 55%. So we actually were 55% in NFL combined. So that's important to mention. I have a feeling the band might be getting back together, Donnie.
I can't. I'm excited. Like, what's funny today, Jeff? Because I told my wife like some things that we're looking at here, and I immediately went out and like, you know what? I got to get my oil changed. I got to get a couple things in line because like once Monday hits, like you don't see people don't realize how much content we actually do and the time it takes it up. Saturdays, Sundays, and then it starts to get on Monday all the way through. Man, I don't like it though.
Yeah, basically you're going to have football Saturday and Sunday until I don't even know when.
Yeah, just February.
To
the the week before the Super Bowl, sure.
So, yeah, it's exciting. Really fun time. I'm happy to be here. And, Donnie, what do you have going on show-wise? You got some shows tomorrow? What do you got?
Yeah, the radio show. The good part about that is we revamp up, and again, Jeff used to be on the radio show with me, and you never know what the future is going to hold in a lot of arenas here, but doing it by yourself, and callers are going to start, not callers coming back, but guests will start coming back as of Monday. We got some good things at SBR on the horizon. I don't want to tease any of that, but you guys, I should say, us, the chat box, us, that are going to have some fun. And information is king in this business. If you don't buy picks, if you hate touts, and you just like content, this channel is going to give it to you all the way through, man.
No, I'm definitely going to do that. Jason, I missed the show, but I'm driving to work. You can always listen back anytime. Thanks for doing that. Definitely take a look at the show. And also tomorrow, I'll be back on SBR. How about that? Back on the viewing platform. I'll be on Odds Market with I'll be on with my good friend Flash Watson. We'll be talking some English soccer. So I'm moving on up. I'm moving back. Steven Robinson, thanks for the Hawaii pick. If I keep winning, I'll have to cash app or PayPal you. Well, don't wait too long, Robinson. No, you don't have to do that. I'm glad you tailed. Glad you made some money. All right, guys, we'll be back. Keep a lookout for more videos. I'll pin this up so you guys can watch it another time. Donnie and I will be back, though, on Monday. So if you're around, you're interested in watching, Monday morning, 10 a.m., bright and early. Get your coffee, get your bacon and eggs, get your cereal, whatever you do in the morning.
It's game week.
It's game week. It's time to talk football. We'll recap the weekend in college football. I'm sure maybe we'll be talking Jadeveon Clowney to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, man, you know how he's brewing right now, and I can't wait, Jeff. You know what the best part is? We heard a lot of feelings in 2017 on all our shows together where Vikings are going to do it. The Bengals are going to, the Packers are going to do it. No way you get by the Patriots. A lot of feelings were hurt, Jeff, through 2017 for us, right?
They definitely were. And Eagles will never win shit. Fuck you. Hey, Donnie, before we go, let me give you some trade opportunities. Would you trade Nelson Aguilar and Mailata for Clowney?
Yeah, I heard that. So if we're and I heard probably the similar calls, and they're right. Like, people look on the outside like, I don't know if I want to give up a wide receiver offense. Well, when you look at the offense, Nelson Aguilar is the guy you can plug in and plug out, because who's your stalwarts? The deep threat, Deshaun Jackson, the possession big man on the opposite side, Alshon Jeffrey, and then you have the big, strong tight ends in the middle that are going to be running wild. Goodbye. And it's the last year of his deal. $9 million this year, I think he's making. Perfect way to absorb that huge signing bonus.
We'll give you Clowney. Clowney says he'll resign with you. They want Alshon. Would you do that? No, I wouldn't. He's got a title for us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd do that there. I heard people saying, just give up my lot in a 4th-round pick. Yeah, that's going to get it done.
Don't you remember back in the day also, do the deal? I don't even care what it takes for Mariota. And they said basically the deal that was on the table was 2 first-round picks and Fletcher Cox along with 3 other players. Just take guys off our roster. We'll give you whatever you want. People on the radio were advocating for that, Jeff. Can you believe? Where would we be?
Sometimes, Donnie, you have to not make decisions. Sometimes the best decision is indecision, as they say. But I will say this. If I like Nelson, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good kid. He's been through some stuff here.
And he'll have a good year this year if he stays. He will.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him go if it means Clowney. Because if they get Clowney, they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
That's simple.
Great. Hold on, Jeff. Yes, hold on. Let me read this one. Chad Benz chimes in. Jeff, if you ever step foot back in Vegas, you'll get knocked out. But why? He was there last year. Why didn't he get knocked out?
It's interesting because Chad, I actually was there and I actually advertised where I was constantly. And I even took videos and pictures. I did live shows. I had a fucking panel that I was on where you could have literally just walked in very subliminally, walked up to me and said, "Hey, fat fuck."
They're not even said anything and just like hit you in the side of the head.
Listen, here's another thing. I'm in Lancaster, PA. Give me a call. Knock on my door. See what happens. Come back and see. Yeah, it's always funny. Every time I'm there, though, nobody has any reason to step up.
No.
So it's always, come back. I'll take care of you. Take care of you. I'll shove this pence on your fucking ear. Listen, I'm out of here. We got to go. I got stuff to do. Donnie, you got stuff to do.
Yep.
We will be back Monday, right side of campus. We will get into fights because things are going to go on that we just don't agree on. And I have stuff I want to talk about too.
By the way, Jeff, I got to say, this, going on the back office here on StreamYard, this is crystal clear. Forget about YouTube, man.
Yeah, it's
crystal clear looking back here.
It's
man.
sweet. Yeah. I am on Dickens Drive. I bet you couldn't find me, though. Even with – I can give you my address and you won't find me. So, but hey, I mean, keep in mind, it's common knowledge. I'm sure if I knew your name, I could find you too. All right. We could sit here all night and speculate. We're out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the questions. You're not going to get a football preview better than that, where we're just reeling them off in an hour. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Donnie, good seeing you. We'll see you.
I love it, man. Awesome, brother. Peace.